Hey everyone, I'm here with Justin Kemppainen of Mooncrab Games. Mooncrab Studios or Mooncrab Games?
Mooncrab Games.
There we go. Okay, well I got it off the bat, but there's so many studios, there's so many games, and people sometimes like to distinguish themselves. They're like, we're not a game publisher, we're a studio.
Sure. Yeah.
But this is your first convention, man.
Yeah.
I think we had you on the channel like 3, maybe even 4 years ago before this whole Leviathan Wilds was even a thing.
Yeah.
How's it demoing at the con?
It's going really, really well. Like, we put together this really big 3-foot tall magnetic vertical version of the game that's fully playable, not just like a quick demo, but you can actually play the entire first major scenario in it.
It's absolutely insane.
It's so cool.
It is stupid. Like I saw the promotional material for this in advance when we were getting all the solicitations, and I was like, oh my God, that is maybe the coolest thing they could have done for the especially with a game where verticality means everything.
Yeah, a game with gravity being actually vertically playable,
Yeah. So you have the original game here, but you also have the Deep Veil expansion.
That's right.
How has reception to Deep Veil been in general?
People love the game, and I think that's, it's among the best work we've done. And that's kind of the trick about game design and development is once you've really got your teeth into a system, you start to learn what is it that makes this the most fun.
Right.
So now we get to kind of pull out all the stops. Like, spoiler alert, there's one that doesn't have gravity in the game about gravity. And my cohort Sam, the artist, is able to really dig into his techniques and learn some new things. The only thing that most people are saying is they want more climbers and they want more classes.
You got to do that shuffle build, man. I want more to shuffle build.
Yep, 100%. And it's not a bad thing when people are asking for more. So I am excited that we will be making more stuff and being able to provide people with what they're looking for.
So one thing that I noticed with the updates that come with Deep Veil, not actually as part of Deep Veil, but you had the second printing, the upgrade kit.
Yeah.
There was a greater emphasis on the boost mechanic.
Yeah.
So clearly you're looking at the existing framework and seeing how you can kind of retool that in different interesting ways. But you have an expansion announced on the horizon. Are you also, looking at introducing brand new mechanics, period?
Yes. So the newest expansion is going to be, more Leviathans, more climbers and classes, because that's really what people want to sink their teeth into. They are going to feature some new mechanisms too, like some new componentry and some new things to, just kind of get a little bit more variety into it, so that there's even longtime fans have something, more moments to say, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff we live for with this game. But most importantly, the big new addition is a new crystal type, a new die.
Oh my God.
So it'll be
it changes everything.
It'll be a D8 instead of a D6.
There you go.
But the mechanism for that is it's called a warp crystal, and when you strike it, it teleports to another location.
Of course
it
does.
Adds a little bit of that puzzle where instead of just, I'm going to trundle over to this crystal and hit it as hard as I can, now you've got to start to plan a little bit, being like, okay, we got a few of these that we have to deal with. We have to give ourselves the flexibility to backtrack a little bit or plan accordingly on that. Or just, I'm going to hit that once, move on, and then we'll find somebody else to come get it later. So it adds another little layer of strategy to it.
Well, as the Leviathan Wilds #1 super fan, I've been stumping for this game for a while at this point. I got to ask for, can you give us any scoop or information, even just concepts for what any of the new characters or classes might be based around?
So I'll tell you, one of the new characters is named Recoil and has a fully fledged ranged attack, which has been a
game changer for sure.
It's been a real challenge for us in particular because we've experimented with it a bunch of times. Every time it was too good because it's why bother climbing to the farthest reaches when you could just snipe that and then remove 3 or 4 turns from the game. We finally found just the right balance and the time to actually test it and iterate and test and iterate. So that's a really fun one. And the name is Recoil because one of the things is got a big old crossbow. When you shoot it, you are pushed backwards as well. So that's That's one thing. There's also a character named Dare.
Dare I say this will be a risky character.
You are 100% correct. At the end of every turn, they get to have a special like jump or strike boost.
Yeah.
But after they do that, they immediately fall.
Okay.
So you get a bit of a supercharged turn, but you have to plan really well,
Gotta
or you're
position
going to
yourself
lose.
above the ledges and everything.
So for people who really love to like just play fast and fast and fast, it's a great character. But sometimes you play a little too fast, and it's like, oops. And then on the classes side, there's an alchemist who collects tokens and then can mix them together for certain effects. The geomancer gets to morph and change the crystals to suit their whims and such. So.
And are you finding any sort of challenge in coming up with new ideas for the Leviathans themselves? I mean, in Deep Veil, I was continually surprised by just like, oh my God, it feels so natural, but it also feels elusive, like something I couldn't have imagined until I turned the page and got to this. Like the reverse gravity pangolin, for example.
Yeah.
Or a palace with shifting apparatuses that you're trying to enter. With this new expansion, like how is that design process for coming up with new Leviathans?
Honestly, like the Leviathans are the easier part of the equation, because like our whole philosophy in the game was to try to, we got these gorgeous illustrations that we work with, and to try to make scenarios that have a couple of like key but fairly understandable quirks.
Right.
So rather than having like 3 pages of rules for every scenario, it's all contained on a card. So in some ways, it gives the kind of constraints where we're like, we want to emphasize these few mechanics.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of ability to just like come up with ideas and new like componentry and mechanisms to make that happen. And then it's just kind of a matter of brainstorming a bunch of stuff, whipping up a quick ugly prototype and seeing like, is this a concept that works? Yep. And sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is and it eventually turns into a yes.
We'll see.
The no gravity one in Deep Veil was one that was teetering on the edge for a long time until we finally got to, okay, this works and is simple enough to still like feel like it's part of the experience. There was one in Shattered Peak where we had some mechanisms that just didn't end up panning out, so we had to switch them up for something else. But that's that's the goal of all this, is to make sure that the experience it's all about being able to play the game, not having to sit and labor over the rules or try to figure out, is this a thing that...
I mean, that's the beauty of the game. You shuffle build your characters. You only have the 5 enemy cards. I mean, that's often my pitch is like, hey, you love all these tactical dungeon crawl games, but like, wouldn't it be nice if all of the AI overhead were just 5 cards, reveal one a turn, and then you react to it throughout your turn and see what is going to happen at the end. That is an instant hook for everyone. And I am so excited about this expansion. Shattered Peaks?
Shattered Peak.
Oh, Shattered Peak.
Yeah.
Arctic-themed expansion. As the Alaskan, I'm hoping there's going to be like a moose or a caribou or a polar bear or a raven or something in there. But I'm waiting to be surprised.
Yeah.
Justin, congratulations on all this success.
Thank you very much.
And the booth is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens down the road with Leviathan Wilds and anything else you guys do.
Oh, there's anything else. Hopefully we'll be able to talk eventually about that.
You'll see it on the channel. All right, thanks, Justin.
Yeah, thank you.